Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Let's talk Love is Blind Season 3, Episode 9. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy that type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you are back from the first 8 Love is Blind recaps and you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Last week, I told everybody I needed 50 of y'all. Remember the issues I had with the... So 50 of y'all, I needed y'all to subscribe. I need another 50 to 75 of y'all. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are watching me for a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time and you have not subscribed. All right? So let's go ahead and get into the recap, y'all. So we are 5 days until the wedding. So shit is getting real deal Holyfield for these people. So it starts off with Bertis and Nancy. And they're going somewhere, and Nancy, Lord knows Nancy's so bubbly, so she just bouncing around as they're walking down the street. Where are we going? Where are we going? Bertis tells her it's a surprise. They get to like a little boutique. And Bertis tells her, remember how I told you that I wanted to get this like collage of tattoos on my arm, where I wanted to be my mom's name, my wife's name, and my daughter's name. So Nancy is getting all warm and tingly inside. She was like, yeah. He's like, so we're not doing that. But they went to get permanent bracelets. Now, permanent is very subjective, okay? I have seen people get these permanent bracelets. I actually want one because I think they're cool. I actually want one, but I don't know if I want to do gold or silver or, whatever the case. So, you can cut the shit off. That's what I think he's kind of missing. Nonetheless, they have this cute little thing. They get like matching bracelets. And then that's just what they're going to do. And I'm like, okay, whatever. If that's what y'all want to do, Nancy and Bertis, go for it. So we get to Alexa and Brennan. So Brennan has expressed to Alexa that he would be willing to convert to Judaism for her. So he's meeting with her father and her grandfather, and he's going to be learning just more about the Jewish religion. So her grandfather tells him that no matter what, the kid is going to be Jewish because it comes from the mother. And I said, oh, okay. Brennan seems cool with that. Brennan seems a little too easygoing for me. Just a little too easygoing for me. I want Brennan to stand in himself, if that makes sense. Stand into what you believe, your truth, and all that other type of stuff. Are you willing to convert because you want her that bad? Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. So her grandfather, they're talking about how one of the most important things in a marriage is that making sure that, or in a person, is making sure that you're beautiful on the inside as well as the out. So Alexa was like, so what about me? Am I prettier inside or out? Her grandfather was like, definitely outside. I said, oh. Because grandparents don't lie. Grandparents don't lie. They have no reason to. So she gives them both the finger. And I said, oh, Lord. Like, literally clutched my pearls. I know you didn't just give your father and your grandfather the finger. See, Alexa's a little too brash for me. And I get that that's how she was raised and how she was grown. That's not how I get down. Like, I don't even cuss in front of my parents. So her giving the finger took me all the way out. Those two families are not going to mesh. The families are not going to mesh because her father and her grandfather laughed it off. I have never. So we get Zanab and Cole. So they're going to a dance class because they want to learn a dance for their first dance during the reception. Zanab said that she wants to do a dance that's very slow and intimate where they're gazing into each other's eyes, based out of a Lifetime movie, Hallmark Christmas movie, okay? So they're doing this. Cole looked musty. I feel like whenever I see men that are like doing activities like that and they're sleeveless, it gives me a musty look. He just looked musty. I can't explain why. The fact that he keeps his place filthy like that doesn't help. But so they're doing this dance. I think they were doing good, for the most part. It's gonna take a little bit of practice, but they were doing good. So when they get done, Zanab said that this just makes her think about not being able to do a father-daughter dance, and that makes her sad. And that's a real reality for a lot of women when they get married. But it's also like Zanab, you don't have an uncle that can step in. You don't have like a cousin. You have your stepbrother. Surely there is somebody that can step in and do that pseudo role for you. On the flip, Cole is not going to be able to do the mother son dance, and it's not because his mother has passed away like your parents. Unfortunately, they just don't want to. They just don't want to. So she then feels like now going into, I keep calling it decision day for Married at First Sight. Going into the wedding, she's happier. She's happier more of the time than she feels like she's missing out on something, which is good, or so we think. So he gets up to like hug her. They just have no physical chemistry. And I feel like Zanab really closed herself off from him once he started, that whole Colleen situation that happened during the trip. She's closed herself off, and you can tell. So we get to Crazy Matt and Colleen. So Colleen's parents are coming over to meet Matt, and he's so excited, he's sweating, wiping his nose and shit at the door. So her father said that they have never had a meet the boyfriend conversation. And Colleen was like, yeah, because I date them for a couple months and then they're gone. Matt had the nerve to say, should I be scared? should I run? No, sit your ass down. You do enough running on a Tuesday. Relax, Matt. Relax. So Colleen said that she's not a person that likes to get deep. And her parents start laughing, and they're like, yeah, because we read books. And I'm like, oh, she's superficial because that's the environment that y'all raised her in. Because people like that are uncomfortable in talking about their feelings and uncomfortable in expressing themselves. It's the environment that you were raised in for the most part. I'm not saying it's foolproof for everybody, but for the most part. But it's weird that Colleen leads with that. Like, it's like she says it and then she laughs as if it's cute or like just this great thing, instead of her just being like, yes, I'm a person that I don't really like talking about my feelings, but I want to get to a place where I'm comfortable with being vulnerable. I'm comfortable with doing all these different things that are going to help out not only myself, but that'll help out my relationship. And it's just weird that she laughs about it. Her parents laughs about it. And Crazy Matt is sitting there over there looking like, I'm kind of got something for your ass. Because, like, he didn't, whatever, y'all. So then we get to Colleen and Matt both feeling like them meeting somebody behind the wall in the pods opened up a whole nother level of connectivity for them, which is true. When you are meeting somebody the way that these people are going through the process, it works. What Love is Blind probably needs to do is get some people and have them point out a list of people. Put all the couples or all the women in front of all the men in front of all the women, and these are the people that you are attracted to. Okay? These are people you're attracted to. So then, when they go into these pods and they don't know how anybody looks, we won't have these issues where they're not attracted to these people physically. Because as much as people like to make it seem like it doesn't, physical attraction is important in a relationship and in a marriage. So her mother is telling Matt that she wishes she would have gotten a chance to know him longer or before this. She's still comfortable with talking to him now, but she just wishes she would have gotten a chance to do this differently. So Matt in his confessional was like, yeah, I wish I would have had a chance to do this differently too. I would have loved to fly to Pennsylvania and ask her parents for her hand in marriage and everything, but that's not how this process goes. We know, Matt. We need you to explain it to us, babe, but that's okay. So Matt goes to the restroom and her parents ask her, like, what are her concerns? She says she's still very concerned about communication, as she should be. So her mom said that Colleen claims that they talk, but like she has learned so much more tonight than she has previously when it comes to Matt and just about how she's feeling about different things. And Colleen was like, really? Girl, you don't talk and you know that you don't open up. So let's not beat around the bush and act like we're so shocked that, your mom is telling you this. So Colleen said honestly and truly she's worried about Matt getting up and leaving when times get rough. When shit hit the fan, is he still gonna be standing here? The answer is no. He is packed up and tried to leave for less. So her mother said that while she does respect her decision, she is an adult, she wants her to know that marriage is a sacrament. It's something very serious. You don't go into it lightly. And Colleen was like, I totally agree, but I'm not sure right now. We're both just not sure. I don't think they're going to get married. I don't think they're going to get married. So we are now 3 days before the wedding. SK and Raven. So they are going out on a date on a gondola. And SK said that he loves being in love with Raven because it's complex. It's not just straightforward, and that's how he likes it. So they're on this date, and they have like salads. And what really stressed me out, now Raven has on this like cute little dress, cute little top, and she takes this napkin and folds it under. You don't know how to eat in a dress? Girl, if you don't lean forward with your fork, and I didn't like that. It was very tacky to me. You would never catch me with a napkin tucked up here like this, ever. So, SK said that when they are married and when he comes in town, he's going to have to plan more things like this. And she's like, no, you're going to have homework. He said, I can study at night when you're asleep. I want to make sure that we spend as much time together as possible. Raven was like, that's great. I'm happy for you. I mean, I'm not going to lie, say that I don't wish you were staying in Dallas. She said, but she just wants him to know and to remember that her dreams are important to her as well. What are your dreams, Raven? We haven't heard you talk about them. What are your dreams? What is it that you keep saying you don't want to lose yourself? You don't want to lose your dreams. What are these dreams that you don't want to lose? Because you're not telling us, so we don't know. So they're eating, and she's like, okay, bon appetit. Then she's like, bon apple teeth, get it, bon apple teeth. And I'm like, are you explaining a joke to him? He got it. And he just kind of looked and was like, okay. Huh. He then goes on to say that he likes that even though she has a serious side, she's still goofy. I said, I would give her ditzy. I think she's a step past goofy, SK, but I would give her as ditzy. So she said that she likes his thoughtfulness, how he articulates himself, and how patient he is because she's none of those things. I said, okay. So they talk about where they see themselves in 5 years. SK and Raven both agree that in 5 years they would like to have kids. He said he sees a lot of money. She said, I like that for us. I said, I bet you do, Heifer. I bet you do. I bet you are excited about the prospect of a lot of money being in your future. So she feels that she's never been attracted to anyone that she's emotionally compatible with. So this is a new thing for her, and she's like super excited about it. And she said when she looks at SK, she feels home. She feels comfort. So, I mean, it's hard to tell if she's like authentic with this or not. Am I the only one that's not able to like really read Raven? It's weird. So we get to Colleen and Matt. I think they're at an aquarium, and they're having this like beautiful romantic dinner. That's like this like fish tank, or it's like fish tank. They're underneath all the fish and sea creatures, swimming around. He tells her that she's been putting in a lot of the effort during their little arguments. I said little, huh? Okay. And he wanted to show her that he can put some effort in as well. So he asks her, could she see herself doing this with him for the rest of her life? And she was like, she just doesn't know if when shit hits the fan, he will still be there. He's like, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Because Matt about to turn up now. Matt's about to turn up. So he tells her that, he feels that maybe he's just not expressing himself and his feelings for her as well as she is towards him. So then it becomes, well, I've been burned before. And he wants to be like, because that bitch cheated on me. Okay? That bitch cheated on me. Because that's the vibe that Matt gives off. He is so intense. I could not have a conversation with him. I couldn't. Because he's going to get too amped up. So he tells her about how he was burned before, and we know, and it sucks, but it also just shows that Matt has not healed from it. Because he even says, that he was an open book before, and now he's not one. He's very closed off. He then goes on to tell her, if I'm not showing enough, then tell me. Tell me if I ain't showing enough. Tell me. And it's like, I'm glad the cameramen are here because sheesh. So he then tells her, if they don't know, then they aren't taking that leap of faith. He then asks her if love is enough for marriage, okay? And this is something that Colleen has been pondering already. She said that she doesn't know. She's torn with that question. And he is staring at her like, say it. Stop playing games and say it. Say it. Say it. I was like, girl, just tell the man no. Shit. Before he reach over and yoke your ass up. Before, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so intense. And he tells her, because she says, I do love you. And he was like, stop playing games. Say it. I said, girl, just tell. So she was like, right now, no. So basically, in her opinion, her loving him is not enough for her to want to jump into this marriage with him. And that's valid. Because she loves him, but he also flies off the handle. Again, we have to remember he has threatened to pack his bags and leave twice. One time he did pack his bags. Those odds aren't great. Twice in like 3 weeks, those are not great odds. On top of the fact that this man is clearly not healed from the emotional disappointment that he suffered at the hands of his ex-wife. So yeah, Colleen needs to move with some caution. She just has to. So we get Zanab and Cole. They're out on a boat for a date. He tells her he's attracted to her because she's wearing red lipstick. I said, okay. All right. She did not want to keep kissing him because it was moving her lipstick all over her mouth. You didn't bring your tube with you, Zanab? You don't have your lipstick with you? You don't have your purse with you that you can touch up? Who turns down their husband? You know what? Zanab, girl, I be really rocking with you. Sometimes I feel like when I rock with you, I do. And when I don't, I don't. That was petty. That was just the stupidest thing. So she says that she knew that he had all this potential inside of him. She loves him more each and every day. She understands him better, more each and every day. And while doing that, it has made her better able to be a better fiance to him. She's learning more about him, which in turn is her learning more about what he needs and how she can be, a better fit for him, how she can adjust to him. He said that he would repropose to her and do it all over again if he could. He doesn't mind her nagging because he said it's playful. It's not though. It's not playful, because if it was playful, there would be a hint of playfulness in her voice. You are getting pure and unadulterated, like low-key venom and disgust in the stuff that she says, Cole. We get Alexa and Brennan. They're on their last date. They're on a motorcycle, and as they're passing by a movie theater, on the marquee, he has something about like their love story. It was going. They were driving kind of fast, and I didn't pause it to see what it said, but I did see Alexa and Brennan. So when they get inside, he's rented out the movie theater, and they're having a little date, and he has a movie playing up on the screen, which is like all these different scenes of them from the pods. So he's getting to see her reaction to when she accepted. She's getting to see his, like, how he looked when he proposed. They're going to look at each other's confessionals, and he's like, that is such a great love story. So he tells her, how do you think it's going to end? Alexa's ass says, have you ever seen the movie Runaway Bride? What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? So she said that she doesn't know what her mindset is going to be on the wedding. He said that he thought that she was faking it at first because no one has ever gotten his sense of humor or gotten his jokes. But the fact that they really rock with each other like that, he is just excited. So he then tells her, so you're like an 80 on marrying me, right? You know? And she was like more like a 64. He's like, okay, cool. So I'm like on the positive side. Don't be happy about that, Brandon. That's not good. 64%, that's failing. Isn't that failing? That's an F, right? I went to private school. 64 is definitely an F. Oh, poor Brennan. I feel like Brennan needs to find somebody, a nice country gal that is going to be all in on him, because I do not think that, I don't think Alexa's it. So then Alexa was just saying how she never thought that this would happen. And if you would have asked her this, a while back, she would have thought you were crazy, yada, yada, yada. I don't know which way they are going to go. I don't. I'm a little nervous for them because I don't know how this is going to pan out. Because I feel like Alexa does like him, but I think Alexa's going to let her family and her friends influence her more than like trusting herself. So then we have Nancy and Bertis. Nancy ain't never had a rib before. I said, okay, Nancy, you ain't never had a rib. In your 31 years of age, you ain't never had a rib. You ain't never been to a barbecue and had some ribs. And I don't want y'all in my comments saying, well, she's Hispanic. I don't care. Nancy don't have no black friends. Hell, Nancy don't have no white friends. White people make ribs. Disappointed Nancy. She tasted and like it was like her whole aura just changed. Girl, it's pork. You done had some ribs before. So Bertis is saying that he thinks of Nancy as his best friend and a great potential wife. I don't like that he keeps saying potential wife. It comes across very shady. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Bertis then said that he wanted to show her that he was still all in love with her. So he's thanking her for giving him the opportunity to like turn things around. He wanted her to see his intentions and not just hear the words coming out. So he's been doing what he can to, get back in her good graces and get back to where they were in the pods. Nancy says she's glad that she picked the perfect guy. I said, he's the perfect guy. He's basically told you he's not attracted to you. I don't know how he can be perfect, Nancy, but okay. And every day he has shown her more and more why she picked him. I said, but Nancy, just a couple days ago, you were saying that he didn't give you enough forehead kisses. But so in that day, did he show you more and more why you were happy that you picked him? Okay. So she then feels like this is the guy that she wants to spend the rest of her life with. Nancy, while you may feel that way, sweetheart, Bertis does not. So then we get to the most fucked up scene of the entire episode. And this is where things went really left for me. So we get to Cole and Zanab's last night before the wedding. Cole is cooking dinner. He said he's making chicken, broccoli, sweet potato fries, and Brussels sprouts. Overkill. Why are you making Brussels sprouts and broccoli? Why? All you need is one green veggie, and I am a vegetable person. I eat a vegetable with every single meal, a green one at that. But you do not. He's cooking, okay? So Zanab comes in. He's like, "Can you help me, like, cut the sweet potato fries?" Initially, she's like, "It's about time you cook for me. You've been saying you were gonna cook for a while." Zanab nags and bitches a lot. She does. She does. I don't know if it's because she feels that Cole does not really like her. He's not all in with her. But if this is how Zanab is in everyday life and in relationships, it is no wonder you are single. It is absolutely no wonder that you are single. So she asks for he gets her a glass of wine. He puts it in a stemless glass, which I thought was weird because on these shows everything goes into these gold goblets so that you can't tell how long they've been filming. So she tells him, "Can I get a stemless glass?" She said when you have white wine, you are supposed to drink it in a stem glass so that you hold it by the stem so your hand doesn't warm up the glass. I feel like that's true, but I don't like stemless wine glasses personally, so I don't have any. But you can buy stemless white wine glasses. So, but okay. So I just feel like she complains a lot. So he's cooking the chicken. She goes on to complain about the fact that he put the chicken on before the sweet potato fries. He said he usually just eats the fries last. He says, so that's what we'll do. She then goes over and he flips all 3 chicken breasts in the skillet. She got a problem with that. Oh my God, why can't you just use the spatula? Why aren't you taking the spatula to smash it down? She complains about the lack of seasoning. All in with her on that. Nobody wants bland chicken. Cole, get it together. You don't have a white wife. She likes seasoning. We eat seasoning on our food, sir. So she basically just takes over and starts cooking. She's opening up the microwave to put the broccoli in, because they bought like a steamable bag. And he has like some Nerf balls in there. She's like, what? So he turns around and he's like, shooting a Nerf ball at her. Having very harmless fun. She loses it. So then he tells her, like, you need to learn how to have some fun and not be so bratty. And I was with him. While Cole does come across as very immature, Zanab is very, very, very uptight. She's wound a little too tight. So she was like, be careful with your choice of words. Because he called her bratty. Nobody wants to be called bratty, especially an adult woman. So in his confessional, he said he feels like he's getting 2 different versions of her. So sometimes he's head over heels, but other times she has a bunch of issues with him. So he just doesn't know. So they sit down and he tells her he's confused. Okay? And he still wants to know if she wants to marry him. And she's like, of course I do. She said, if I base it on the pods and the last 2 weeks, that I am 1,000% in. She then goes on to say, but she won't know for sure until she is walking down the aisle. Cole's not accepting that. Cole said that he wants to know, or he said that's not what somebody that wants to marry him is going to say. So she said that she is still in love with him despite all the weird things that he does as he lives his life. And then it becomes this tit for tat where you put towels on the floor, where you put towels in the bathtub, where it gets them off the floor. Well, what was it? Will you leave dishes out? Will you leave hair in the toilet? Yes, so the next person that goes to use the toilet can flush. And I'm like, if you put the hair in the toilet, which I'm like 1,000% sure you shouldn't be doing, flush it. Why can't you put the hair in the toilet and then flush it right away? It's just like Zanab just bitches all the time. She bitches too much, y'all. She does. And I kind of feel like Zanab knows that she's like not who Cole really wants. So instead of her accepting that, acknowledging that, and then just like within herself choosing to say no, she is like complaining about that. Every chance that she gets, she is reminding him of what he does wrong, where he falls short. So he then tells her that he can't even spill chicken without her calling him immature. He said that he doesn't feel like he doesn't feel about this in that moment. Oh, and then she would say it's not a big deal. He would say, I don't feel like it was in this moment. She said, look, I see that you're trying, and you can tell she is biting her tongue because she really wants to say, because nigga, why was you flipping the chicken like that? She really wanted to go in on him, but she's trying to temper herself. So he tells her he wants a wife that is not perturbed by every single thing that he does. He wants a wife that actually likes him. And she's like, why do you think I don't like you? He said, because the way that you talk to me, the way that you judge me, I feel inferior. So then she gets offended and she's like, how do I make you feel inferior? He was like the whole chicken incident in the kitchen. Her response to that is, we just have different styles of cooking. That's fine and dandy, Zanab, but he was trying to cook for you. You came in and took over because he wasn't doing it the way that you would. If he wants to cook for you and y'all have different styles of cooking, take your glass of wine, go sit your ass on the couch and wait for dinner to be done. There's nothing worse than somebody that's cooking for you, or you're cooking for somebody and they come in and nitpick about every single thing. Let him cook. I think she completely overreacted and behaved horridly when she was in the kitchen. I honestly and truly do. I don't care what Zanab says. Like, she was being super bitchy and nagging in that scenario. So she said that she does not think that the problems that they have are enough for her to say no. She said marriage is hard work, and it's going to come down to, are you willing to do the hard work with this particular person? And she says she is. Cole said, well, I didn't know you still wanted to marry me. Now, see, Cole is on bullshit now, because now Cole is projecting. Because Cole does not want to marry Zanab. So what he's going to do is gaslight her into thinking she has been the entire problem this entire time, as if he hasn't been adding to that. So she was like, no, so he didn't tell her that he wants her to be sweet and unassuming. She said that, well, look, I know I'm a great catch. Anybody would be great to have me. Your family would be crazy to not like me. He then says, are you bipolar? I would have flipped all that shit over. I would have tore that house up, because how dare you ask her that? How dare you be condescending? I can't stand for people to put mental illness on others anyways. So because she's not agreeing and liking the shit that you do, you don't put a mental diagnosis on her. So she was like, are you serious? I'm trying to have a serious conversation. And he was like, I asked the question, are you? She was like, no, I'm not bipolar. So then he was like, oh, so you're not bipolar. So then she was like, look, if you're looking for someone that's going to be sweet to you every single day, then go find her. Go find her at your bachelor party. Go find her tonight, because I'm done. She gets up, goes and gets her purse, and leaves. And then Cole is sat looking like a dumbass sitting on the couch. Wow. I could not believe that he asked her that, y'all. I cannot believe he asked her that. I cannot believe he asked her that. That is probably the most disrespectful thing to do. What if she really was? What if she really had some type of mental incapacity? Let me know how you guys felt about this down below. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up the video, share with a friend, and I will catch you guys for the next episode. Peace.